To order. We got a lot of stuff this morning, at not having a meeting in September since the August meeting fell so close to the one in September, the scheduled meeting. We decided to put it off this month, so we have two months of reports. And you're lucky, Art's not going to be here today. I forgot about you, were worried about it. So anyway, I'd like to welcome the guests. If you have anything to say this morning.
Nothing?
Nothing, okay. Let's move down to Rose's report. Rose is under the weather and would like to get this stuff done so she can go home and rest.
Under item 5.
Under 5, yeah. So you're on.
Good morning.
Morning.
First, we'll do the month of August. There were no tax adjustments. Next, we have the Public Service Board assignment project that we've been working closely with PSB to obtain leases, and PSB is also paying delinquent taxes. We have received 610 leases representing 61,000 in processing fees, and an amount of collection and delinquent taxes was $20,302.07.
That's tremendous. 610 accounts.
Yes.
That really is good. I commend you for doing that. I mean, that is tremendous.
Yeah, and it's not just us; it's also the Public Service Board.
Well, but yeah, but you had to, drive the ship to get them motivated. But it's such a, these are one of the few things that are ever win-win, and it's a win-win for everybody. And I mean, it's been terrific. Yeah, win-win for everybody. I mean, property owner, for the PSB, for us, the whole thing. So, thanks. Great job.
Thank you. And we have become close partners, Public Service Board and the Water District.
So we maybe it'll continue to be that way as they come up rather than languish out there for years and years. We'll take care of the meeting.
Next, we have the comparison between the 2012 and 2013 tax assessment. We are still trailing a bit. We're still having our efforts with the collection agency, who are attorney, the law firm of Hogan, Blair, Saxon, and sending out notices. It says here it's been economically disruptive.
I suspect it isn't going to change much by this time of the year. Just hope it doesn't get worse next year.
And the next report here we have is our tax suits. And what I want to point out is the last column. Mr. Ivy had a question a couple months ago. If a property owner had paid off the taxes, if we could remove them from the list. What we've been doing is checking with the attorneys to see if the court fees have been paid. Because not only do they pay taxes, our taxes, but also the city, county, and so on, but there's also court fees involved. Once everything's paid for, then they'll be not sued.
Court fees are not a lot anymore.
It could be.
I mean, I experienced that getting a traffic ticket. My ticket wasn't for very much, but when I paid the court costs, it was over $300. Wow, it's a big deal anymore.
So we've been trying to update. So
JP Court.
Yeah. JP Court.
from between the month of July to August, we have one account paying for. Now that means our taxes. Of course, doesn't mean that the property taxes of the city and the court fees.
Off the attorney's fee.
And that's what we have for the month of August. And let's go to the month of September. There were no tax adjustments. Next report would be the joint effort that we have with Public Service Board about picking up water rights. At that point, we had 612 cases representing 61,200. Delinquent taxes have been collected $20,358.93. And I want to point out that this is your going. So we'll accept leases any day of the week.
And when the new tax bills come out, this will start picking up again.
And now that you just mentioned that, when we start working public service board, they send out a flyer with all the solicitation, and they gave us copies, and we will be including that flyer when we send out our November statements.
Good.
Next report is our tax comparison, the 2012-2013 tax assessment. Again, we are still charting the bid. And we got 1 more month to go. Hopefully it all reaches. We got our final report, tax suits. I do want to point out there's a correction. The penalty interest, it says amount due, this is the middle column. It says September, that should read October. And from August to September, we have 3 accounts paid in full. And that's all I have for there. And then our next item would be the tax rate.
Under tab E. Okay, you all looking at the tax rates, these were what we developed our budget on, we just need to approve them as being the tax rates, so they can go ahead and get the statements out. Do I hear a motion to approve the tax rate as provided here, and then you can put it in the motion, the resolution is specifically stated.
So moved.
Okay, Darrell makes a motion, Larry seconds, all in favor say aye, all opposed same sign, and it's the same as last year.
Yes, sir. That's the same.
So there's no surprises there.
And then we also have BEF, which would be setting the rate for exempt tax.
Right, we have to do that to you. We need to set the tax rate for, well, it isn't a tax.
Right, it's not tax.
Exactly.
It's a charge per acre foot of water for those entities that are not taxable, but still like to use water. It's contract, tax exempt, done by contract with tax exempt land, and it's $45 per acre foot, which pretty well mirrors the regular rate. So do I hear a motion to approve that?
Just for purposes of the record, it's a rental rate or a lease rate for 1 year.
And they're gonna lease the water? And they're gonna bring it back whenever they.
Right.
Yeah, we could use it.
But it's got all sorts of specific conditions, but
Yes.
Yeah, well, as long as it's properly put in.
Right, they have to have arable land to begin with, they have to be current on all the previous payments, there's a long list.
We're just setting the rate, we're not
Right.
setting the qualifications.
Yeah, that's
Do I
correct.
hear a motion for that?
So moved.
Larry makes a motion.
Second.
And Dar seconds, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the administrative fee was included in the first,
Yes, sir.
or in both of them, actually. Okay. All right. No, looks like you're through, Rose. You can grab your lunch basket and head home. Hope you get feeling better.
Thank you.
I know what you've been going through, not fun at all. I hope you get better. And thanks again for coming in and doing this. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, back to item number 3, which is the minutes from our special meeting held August 27th. Reason it's a special meeting because it wasn't on the normal date. It was the only meeting we had that month. The meeting minutes were in your package. Any additions, corrections, comments, having comments, into it? motion, since there are no questions or comments, do I hear a motion to approve them as presented? Bill makes a motion, Larry seconds, all in favor say aye. Motion carries. Okay, item number 4. Mary's gonna be here for about an hour and a half, going through her. Minimum.
The first tab is on the office. Under the investment report, there's just a slight correction on the general fund balance. The report shows $1,662,680.56. And it should be $1,661,583.96.
Where's this at again? In the general fund?
Yes.
Okay. It should be what? It should be what?
$1,661,583.86. Also, we are down to 4 CDs. One of them is coming up for renewal in December, and we'll continue to renew it at a 12-month rate. The next spreadsheet is the balance sheet.
I don't remember, this is the end of our fiscal year. These are the final figures for the year. No, I had a, Mary and I talked a little about, because I called her and asked her a question yesterday about that. As usual, we throw in some non-cash expenses. And it's kind of, to me, it skews the real deal. Our gross income for the year was better than we budgeted for. And if you take out depreciation, the whole year ended up a lot, within,
I have a
the
final
budget
number.
was 7.4 million, and we ended up with our total expenses at 7.1. When you take out the non-cash, and that always skews the deal. So really, y'all did a great job, which is what, to be able to stay in under budget.
Yeah, I talked to Mary about that. It's normally, last year, because you guys requested to do the analysis on a cash basis, and some of the artifacts of the software, we have to export it to this Excel sheet, and we forgot to do that. So we'll get, by next month, we can reformat that to be cash only, which is the number you're talking about. I think Mary calculated by hand, but we'll get that.
And you still have all that stuff in your balance sheet.
Yeah, we have to have that for the procedures.
But for the reality, wasn't y'all underspent by 1.02?
Well, I have a final number. It's not only minus the depreciation, I do have to add back the capital projects or capital assets that were moved to the balance sheet.
Okay.
So the final number is $7,447,981.
Say that again.
$7,447,981.
So we're really about 50,000 under.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're under, that's the main thing.
And this
And that's only expensive.
And this will be the third year in the row that we were successful in doing that. And I think the meetings that we have, we try and have meetings amongst the managers monthly to go over what we're spending, where we can cut, where we can look at. So Mary's done a great job.
We just need to get our revenues back up, and, if Allie doing good about getting us water in the dam, well, we can solve that problem in a hurry, but we're not.
Keeps raining in the wrong place,
In a lot.
like in the Pecos and stuff.
Yeah, the Pecos are running big time. Anyway, we're still we reduced our carryover residual by another million somewhat this year.
Good, that sort of, I know it's frustrating to start looking at, they've got these maps of rainfall, cumulative rainfall, and not only the Pecos, we missed it by about 140 miles, but we had a real big event up on that went into the San Juan River instead of ours, which was like 40 miles. It's all we missed it. Just not making it in the right shed.
Yeah, and the old Gila looks tremendous. I drove up through the
Oh,
Gila
yeah.
Alpine the other day, and I've never seen the old rivers running, and you normally dry, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, when you get northern, in the northern parts, when you get up around Alpine, they didn't have the rain
Yeah.
that they had further down.
Correct.
So, and most of it was in the Black Range, and if you get a little farther than around Flagstaff and up in there, they didn't have near the rain, early rains. They were having some rain late. They didn't have the, anyway, so. Well, my point was, we're still burning up some of our residual, and at some point in time, if we don't get our water back, we're gonna have to look at that whole card and maybe have to raise the tax. We hope we don't have to, but based on this year's budget, we should be able to make it through again with burning a little, but still continue to have some. Big decisions will come next year, whether or not we want to raise the taxes or what, you know. So we'll just have to see what, there are some possibilities of some good income for this coming year, but that's only possibilities, we don't know that. And the water situation is, according to, you know, the IREO is 25% better than it was last year. I don't think they have that much.
Well, you know, if you have $1 and you increase it by 100%, you still just have $2.
Right, yeah, you don't have that.
Yeah, it is, that number may be correct. But
25% better than it was last
We
year.
didn't have it last year.
Yeah, it's not 25% of the capacity.
Not the capacity.
Well, the IRO article quotes Bert Cortez.
Well,
And of course, there are Paso Times is completely asleep at the switch.
we had such a small amount of water that any increase was, you know, not much of an increase.
So you can get, we have had.
We have had some,
substantial
We're about 80.
improvement,
Yeah.
and what you can talk about.
Sure, we talk about.
Mary's got the floor, and we're interrupting her.
Sorry.
Anyway, I wanted to bring that to y'all's attention, because I thought it was great that we made the budget again, and if you don't make those adjustments, you don't, and I didn't think about it. You said something about that yesterday, but it didn't register with me.
One of the things that I noticed is that I thought the water level was gonna be such that it was gonna be lower for, we wouldn't have a dewatering issue, and it seems like we made a revenue on dewatering, a substantial amount than what we had predicted. Because our assessment was that we weren't gonna get anything because the water level was going so low. And it turned out to be, what happened there, Jay?
Well, the dewatering projects actually came in areas where the water table is high, like at the country club and,
Okay, over there.
yeah.
Because
Because
we
they
always
had-
have a high water table on the
Right.
Up on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the lower part, because that's where the aquifer comes up, it hits that.
It's the dam right there.
But that's good, because, I mean, we budgeted low, we came in really, really well.
That and the fact that what they were constructing were sewer lines, and those were 30 feet, 20 feet, so, and then obviously other portions along country club, so, no, it worked out.
Worked out
That's
great.
good.
And do you anticipate that happening, trending in the future, or do you see this, it's hard to predict, right, but it's.
We've got some, we had a request for information on another sewer project, Lower Valleys over here off Cotton Valley Estates by Ted Richardson's place. That entire subdivision of the sewer, so, you know, that should possibly generate a little bit, because it will be pretty deep. But
Those are nice to see, because you don't plan for them, but they come in, meet your,
Yeah.
meet the budget.
Those sort of things are what really made our budget keep us alive, so. Okay, Mary, investment report, I guess, or you?
And it will just continue with September for the investment report, balance sheet, and the cash flow.
Is that not the one we need to approve, September one?
That would be the quarterly reports.
Yeah, that's a quarterly report, which is a September report.
We have included the one for June and also for September.
Right.
Quarterly report.
We need to approve it.
Yes, sir.
You wanna do that now, or like, put it later, you got it later?
We got
on,
it,
did you?
yes.
Okay. Good.
Are there any questions for the month of September? We did start the new fiscal year, so we just have 1 month of running any expenses.
If there's any questions, Art's not here.
This is for September, right?
Yes.
Any questions or balance sheet or cash flow report or investment report for September? If not,
Can I just ask Al, where is the side of that tower that's leased, that's shown on page 205 in the budget?
The only tower we lease, we have, we still have a repeater up on the mountain, we have one.
Yeah, we have one at the mountain and then one at the old Isla Yard. That's still, the tower is still ours, and but we lease the space.
And none of it is connected to any canal or drain?
No. Not those two main towers, no.
We wouldn't be connected on our property, they're both on somebody else's property.
Right.
Well, I'm just thinking
They
about
both
my,
control the canals and the drains.
I'm thinking about my ongoing rankers exchanges of communication with Christy Callahan on the condemnation suit.
They handle our telemetry. That's what handles our telemetry and relays our telemetry off our canals and drains. So,
I need to talk with you about that
Okay.
later on.
all right.
The next tab is tab B, which is the August and September $500.
Any questions or comments on those reports? $500 check report for August.
There's a consulting fee for Hub International, or just that?
That's who handles our insurance. Instead of paying them a flat fee, they bill us monthly.
But the way it comes across consulting fee, I thought that was part of the package, I would think that they would charge us. They're already charging us, aren't they?
This, it worked out better that Mary and Lisa and I got together, and this works out better in our favor, less money than the other way that we were used to doing it. And we changed it, this is the third year?
Second, they don't
Second
tack, yeah, they don't tack it on to the premium.
To the premium?
Yes.
University of Arizona services rendered to.
That's the Canotio well field study that's almost completed, and we have, that'll be reimbursed by El Paso Water Utilities to
Yeah,
us.
we sent them an invoice already.
Right, we already delivered an invoice the day that Johnny and Al and I met with John Baloo and his staff. I handed the statement to them.
Good, always goes to those meetings.
They always give it to them at the end of the meeting.
Will we be
Well,
getting,
it was an agreement that we had already worked.
Yeah, it was, we did that to help them.
will we be getting a report on this or something?
I can give you, it's of course, right now it's not under litigation, but it is sensitive to litigation, so I'm gonna
Right.
talk about it in closed session.
Right.
Potentially.
It's going to be part of it. I promise you. Okay, we also have the credit card report for August. Any questions of any of those for August?
On our, just as an explanation on our travel, we've got several certifications or recertifications that we need to do. Rose and Sonia just came back from their recertification seminar in San Antonio. Jay needs to go to one that we'll be scheduling him. I've asked him to give me some dates and some locations. Mary and Lisa also need to do it. get recertified for their positions. And there's a couple of trips that I'll be taking. One is for the Texas Irrigation Council that will be next week. As you all well know, I've been the president of the Texas Irrigation Council the last 3 years, and I've called an election just so we can pass it around and give someone else a chance. So that takes place next week. And then we have the meeting, Johnny, that you and I went to. We met with the commissioner in San Diego. That's coming up in November, and I've scheduled time because they sent out a letter of anybody that's interested in meeting with the commissioner. I went ahead and reserved some time with him like we always do, and I'll give you those dates. Yeah, Mike Connors is now the Secretary of the Interior.
Or assistant.
Assistant, yeah. I don't know.
There was just a temporary, they don't have a permit.
They have an acting that they think will, he's been nominated for the permanent
Did he
position.
come up through the ranks with it?
Yes. I had met with him.
Bureaucrat.
He's, I met with him and Larry Wachowicz in San Antonio
Old Penley.
about 6 months ago.
Yeah,
But anyway,
What about him? Where's he from, or what? New Mexico again?
they doesn't read, the bio on him's not as extensive as, they have actually a nominee. He's just, I can find out. I think he was a career person there. Been
At the
DC
Bureau.
for quite a while, yeah.
yes.
Typical of their acting guys.
Well, yeah, I understand, but just kind of want to know where he was
I'll get you a little bio.
raised.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to attend that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, and if not,
That's part of
I
the-
still want to do a presentation to him on projects that we've done with grant money and
No,
then talk to him
He's
about
an
that.
engineer.
Pardon me?
I said he's a civil engineer, so that's a problem.
That's a problem to start with. Golly. He may be wearing an orange shirt, I don't know.
He
For
was-
Tennessee?
He comes out of construction.
Clearly in big threes.
Commissioner of operations is what he was prior to.
How old I got it is giving him about, how old is he?
Montana State, he got his degree in '78, so he's probably about 60.
Okay, so he's from Wyoming, Montana, somewhere up there, right? That's good.
He's licensed in Colorado. He was the head of their technical center for a while there in Denver.
You know, the time that I met with him and Larry Wachowicz in San Antonio, he knows our project very well. Yeah, and all the main players.
Just as long as he's not a native son of New Mexico like the last time. We're all right.
Looks like he's from Montana.
Good. Okay, Mary, we keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
Oh, just clarification on that credit card report, is that DVR is for the security system, surveillance system. That wasn't a dispatcher watching.
No, it's for the
It's a
cameras.
recording for this, that's what the hard part is, it's for the road. It's important.
Any investment reports for June, August,
Final
and September?
quarterly report for June and September.
June, and September. And we have to approve the quarterly report under September, right? That's a,
June and September.
you didn't do it in June?
No,
I'm catching you. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve the quarterly investment report for the months of June and September. Why did we miss it in June? Why did we miss it in June? There's a me problem.
no, I failed to put it in the month of July, the quarterly report.
All right, do I accept the motion?
So moved.
Mary makes the motion, in our seconds, all in favor say
I
aye.
got a question real quick before we
Okay, well, we can open it up for this discussion before we ask.
I don't think we're gonna do a lot of it, but we went from 4 million to 6 million, or 6 million to 4 million. That was, we yanked out our
The two
investment.
CDs,
Two CDs.
that matured in
Two CDs,
July.
Okay.
We still have over $6 million plus
We're still,
in total cash. she needed it to operate on that. But as you can see, it's not a double declining balance, but it is a declining balance, so.
It was a plan, very well. And I Dave.
I'll ask for a vote. All in favor of approving the quarterly reports for June and September, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. That's all you have, Mary? You got out of that trap pretty easy. Bart wasn't here. Okay, guess we're down to number 6, right? Yes.
Oh, these are all
Okay, Chewy?
Okay. On item A, the USBR finally got going on the EA for the operating agreement. We've been hoping that they would get going on. We've been, Al and I had a meeting with them about a year ago, and they had wanted to complete it last January, and that didn't happen. So we finally had our next meeting this month, and Al and I went up there, got pretty well going on it. I think we're on the right track now. We've scheduled a next meeting on November 4th, and the next meeting will be here in El Paso, which will be good for us.
We had signed a the board had approved a confidentiality agreement on that. It's a cooperative agreement, so we'll brief you in the executive session on the meeting.
So anyway, that's finally going in the right direction. It was attended by Chris Rich and Steve Hernandez.
We didn't know that. We
Right.
weren't informed of that until after the fact. So.
I already covered our base with Jim on that.
Oh, really? In fact, they didn't even announce it until Chris, the only reason we knew Chris spoke. Sounds like Chris Rich.
And Al and I looked at each other and said, oh, we're in trouble now.
Yeah, there was a bit of sarcasm in what he said, so combining the sarcasm with the tone of his voice, we figured out who it was. So.
But anyway, Maria did offer the next time we go, she saw Herman, or ran into Herman at the airport, and so she offered her services if we ever go to Albuquerque again and we need her to sit in. She's available. And I also briefed Jim on it, and that our next meeting is here November 4th at the Bureau offices. And so anyway, that went well.
Yeah, it's an interesting meeting. There's several things we need to brief you on about. Not directly related to the EA, but that we were informed of.
Item B, that's the meeting that I just brought up. I was talking to Johnny about that. That's scheduled November 12th through the 14th in San Diego, and I always attend and participate on it. And so just wanted to brief you all that will be coming up, and I'll be traveling to that. Item C are the proposed routes. I received a letter from TxDOT, the consultant that they hired, the civil engineer that's studying the FM 1110. It's important to us because of several issues, equipment moving up and down from the interstate going towards the upper valley, and because of all the traffic and Little Street, the present FM 1110. The 3 routes, if you...
I can't understand which is which, but...
It's a color map. You want us to put it up on the screen?
Yeah, would you?
Yeah, to do that, it's so hard that I tried to figure it out. Which was their number 1 and which was their second.
That's all right.
Roughly
I think I know.
I can see them color.
the three locations are, one will come next to the school, one comes out next to Border Patrol, and the third one actually hubs this field right here.
And I didn't know which was, are those alternatives based on the ones they want to build, or are they, their preferences, or is that just 3 possibilities?
No, these are preferences. They actually, they'll decide on one of these.
Okay, well, but I mean, is A the preferred one?
Well, they don't know yet.
They don't
That's
know.
how
So
they
they're not ranked in order
Right.
of preference, that's what I was wondering.
Right, and I don't know if you all had any any preference that you would like me to address at the next meeting?
I like the one that goes right through Bill's over house.
I think he was more that as well.
I'm not sure he'll like it.
Chewy, are these on the fast track plan, the
Yes.
10-year plan, or the?
Yeah.
No, this is, as you remember, I talked to Ted Houghton about this problem, it's been a couple of years ago now. And so anyway, he started looking at it. I mentioned to him that they should really do a study on the Clint Bridge going across the interstate. Because of all the landfill traffic, trucks going up and down. And so anyway, he looked at it. He came on here personally and looked at it and put it on a fast track. He said, I'm glad you brought this to our attention. They already have the money to build the interstate bridge, and they're going to do the identical bridge as they did at Horizon here at Clint.
That's good.
And then, from what I understand, he's got the, from Interstate 10 to Alameda funding set as number 6 for this coming year, that they'll more than likely approve. And then the second phase will be from Alameda all the way to where the border highway extension should be coming to. So
what are which ones are their preference?
They have,
okay,
A is yellow, and then B is in light blue. So A is,
The one that comes close to us.
this is A, and then this is B and C. So they just, I mean, they're generic. I don't think they're in any preferential order, but just A, B. A, B, this is Mr. Scope's house right here, and C. Yeah,
No, it's up there.
I'm sorry, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. It's Alameda.
That's the one I'm in favor of, I'm gonna tell.
I think he is too.
Do you want us to sponsor one of the public meetings here? We could have it.
So here's Border Patrol. This is I guess the straightest one, so.
Yeah, it's the least, it's probably one of the preferred ones.
Right.
Exactly.
and it will have an overpass over the railroad, which is great. Won't hold
Those
up
are
traffic.
by the turpentine plant.
Serpentine right here.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure the third one really might not be the best one, though, this one down here.
Right.
Because
The one by the
most of
school?
traffic
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
one that goes close to the school.
Yeah, and it goes right directly to that street, what's the name of that road that goes right next to the high school?
Denton.
Denton.
Yeah.
And Denton goes all the way to Socorro Road, which Ted hadn't liked.
So what's the red line?
That's the boundary that, which they requested us to provide them where we have facilities. Basically, anything inside
Is
this
that
red
the
block.
city limits?
No, that's just, they just wanted to know
Oh, no.
all of our facilities within
Any of, yeah.
Not a
canals.
2-month project.
Oh, really? So that's
Yeah,
what
we had
You know, that one, the third one, the bottom one, and it goes by San Eli High School and all over there. It looks to me like that would be the most utility, or would achieve the most utility for the entities that require the most traffic.
high schools. Isn't that Alameda?
Well, definitely get them, the
It's
people
right
that go to high
there,
school,
right there.
go in there a lot easier.
This is where the 20
So
is.
it's just gonna be just
It-
north of Alameda.
It's makes little difference to us. I
But
think.
there's a subdivision there now, so this kinda, there's already this was obviously done before Tropicana
Oh,
built that
that's right.
subdivision, so I don't think this is even valid any longer.
No, they're not gonna go in there.
Yeah, 'cause they got the apartments, and then they got
That's-
the residences,
You're
single
exactly right.
residence home.
Yeah, that's the issue of Texon not getting in here early.
Right, and that's what they were worried about, but when I spoke with Ted, I said, growth is just tremendous out there, and now is the time that you all should move.
So I guess it will be Herring probably.
Yeah, it'd probably be the center one.
It's less meandering.
Which I think I gave somebody the heads up that Border Patrol was building when they were interested in buying a house.
Yeah, and all of those houses right along there, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of homes for sale.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll sell them to TxDOT and they won't have to sell them to somebody else.
So anyway, for starters, you'll probably see construction starting up on the interstate. They plan to leave the existing bridge in place right now until they build a new one.
Well, that's a nightmare up there.
Yeah,
That
it
little
is.
bridge. The trucks can't hardly make it.
And
Turn.
it's, I don't know if you've seen the condition of it, it's starting to crumble.
Yeah, it's starting to fall apart.
And then the phase two will be the, from up there down to Alameda, and then I guess phase three, all the
When do they
way.
plan to start on that bridge?
They said the turn of the year.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
the bridge inspector probably got that on high priority.
That and they need, of course, that'll relieve a lot of the pressure, but I mean, that traffic backs up way when the school's out and quitting time and all, I mean, that traffic backs way up down that road. And you probably won't once they get that bridge fixed up there. You know what, I don't know why we don't use more traffic circles in the United States.
We'll come in around.
Those things really are efficient compared to the last stop.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I've seen like Austin puts them in that cause major problems.
They like what?
Well, what happened was, at the yielding, that there'd be a light too close to the traffic circle, and then the whole circle was shut down with the light when it got too heavy with traffic. So it shuts everything down.
Because of where the lights were.
So that whole intersection's now blocked.
The light, what's.
Whereas before, when the lights could be sequenced, you
Yeah.
could at least have it open the other way. Think about having one too close to a railroad track, and it just shuts, not only does it stop the traffic across the railroad, because the railroad's there,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then it shuts everything else
Are
down.
we gonna have a big traffic circle over there? I don't know.
It's already open.
It's already open?
You can have the same thing with stoplights, though, whenever you have two too close together and you have a heavy.
Right, yeah, but they're usually, they tie the stoplights together so one of them.
Like up there on Montwood in Saragossa, they come together, that's a nightmare. When that traffic's heavy there and one light changes, the others can't go because
Well, but,
it's.
yeah, typically, hopefully people aren't stopping in the middle of the intersection when the light changes around.
Forget that.
We're becoming like
Forget the
California.
hopefully part.
They do.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Anyway. Well, that's interesting. They do need to fix that bridge, and I guess they'll do whatever they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So, thanks for that. That'll mean some more crossings over our stuff. We'll get to deal with it here in a year or so.
Yeah, Jay, I'm gonna start taking Jay to those meetings so we can start looking at our infrastructure.
He's got inside information. I haven't worked for TechStop, he doesn't admit it.
There's 100% turnover since he was there.
It's like-
Maybe when the pension comes around, I will.
When the pension comes out.
Then, item D, your organizational chart, the auditors have asked us to look at it and upgrade it. We've removed, Lisa, you want to cover that?
Okay. Actually, what, the only corrections you'll see from the last one is, the district engineer has been moved up under the general manager. That is correct. And, under the office manager tax collector, the tax land assistant, we've added that. And then, under the accounting manager, there's no longer an IT department.
I would have a suggestion for the district engineer. Al's really not an employee of the district. I would put it off to the side instead of writing that direct line. Just another box over there below Chewy. Kind of
Okay.
like the legal counsel or the regular board of director.
Well, leave the assistant district.
They can use the engineer.
No, yeah, but I mean, he's an employee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
the assistant
yours-
should stay down there.
Yeah. but
Yeah, and
yours
the
needs to
reason
just-
for that was
He's
only
in the same place, only to the side rather than in the direct.
onto the
because
side
he's not
directly
an
across
employee.
the general manager?
Pardon me?
You want it directly across the general manager?
No, just in where he is right now, just move it to the side with a line,
Okay.
don't you think? That makes
Yeah, or
sense.
you mean like legal counsel is, or?
Well, legal's strictly to the board of directors, okay? Yeah, in the same framework, just move it, just because since you're not, yeah, like that. Yeah, or just off that line, I just was thinking, off this line that goes down.
Yeah.
This line that shows the direct, maybe like this, just straight out from that line, is what I think.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So because, I mean, he's responsible for the board and you, responsible to the board and you too, but he's not an employee.
Right.
He's an official of the district, but he's not a salaried employee of the district.
Okay, so then I should probably add a note at the bottom, as I do the legal counsel,
Yeah.
have an asterisk at the bottom,
I think-
indicating that.
That'd be good.
I think that's a good idea.
That more
Okay.
clearly.
Where do we put our assistant engineer?
I'll leave them where
Leave
it is.
him
Yeah.
with the- for-
And then quit wearing orange shirts.
Birds, you know, the goal still is to move that box, probably where it is now, to move him into the district engineer, so everybody understands our.
Well, regardless, I mean, you can be the district engineer consultant, I mean, you're the.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really a consultant, you're acting. as-
Yeah, they did, and for liability reasons, you guys appointed me as an official, and since I stopped
And
doing
that shifted
construction,
liability from us to you, so that's.
well, I carry insurance,
Well, we do.
so does the district.
On the legal counsel, there, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, on a day-to-day basis, Chewy usually contacts Jim or,
Yeah, but they work for the will, at the will of the board.
Yeah.
okay. So the director, under the board.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the only other one that's at capacity is the auditor, too, I think the auditor works directly for the board.
Well, we don't have an auditor yet.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Did you?
Well, we hired an outside firm to do it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah,
I don't think that needs to be in our organization chart, does it?
No,
No, no.
No, for you.
I'm just saying, that's the other professional that works directly.
All right.
That's all I had in this year.
Do we need to, a motion to approve that?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion to approve the organizational chart with the changes we discussed?
So moved.
Indor makes a motion, Barry seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. District engineers report, you can tell us about how much more water we've got this year, 25% more?
Yeah, but from last year, it's actually better than that, it's about 100% more. But, like I said, now we have $2, so. Yeah, we got about 10,000 acre feet into Dubai, which helped. Right now, I think the numbers, I don't know, Robert, you looked at them, what do we have, about 80,000 is ours?
I see the fire is 110.
110, but I just got the new report on San Juan, you know, that went up. Some of that water wasn't ours.
Yeah.
It came in.
And at the meeting yesterday, Bert mentioned 118.
104 usable?
Yes.
Okay.
119 down?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So it's come up.
That's more like almost 200% more than last year. Actually 40, right?
We need to keep it from evaporating and sinking in the ground until next year. A little help. Maybe this storm, it looks like it may give us some up there.
Yeah, it's supposed to hit an Albuquerque area.
Well, I hope
No,
so.
yeah, it has to be north of Ottawa or south of Elton.
Well, it looks like it's going into the northwestern corner. of
John
Mexico.
watershed would be great if you go into the John watershed.
It'll probably end up on the San Juan.
Yeah, 30 miles
San
south of
Juan
Ottawa.
west.
I'll miss that one, but we actually had some that missed Ottawa just by about 30 miles too. So it's very frustrating.
Well, all I can say is one day closer to being good, so.
Almost everything else I have is for closed session, unless you guys have any questions. I mean, we are scheduled to, the Suffolk Canyon well field with allocation after talking closed session because of pending litigation. We did request an allocation be made in December, so the allocation committee has to meet and close the books from last year. I can't officially close the books. I know they wanted to do it EPCWID earlier, but we've got a bunch of contract with the United States, or one specifically 2001, that requires us to do that analysis after October 15th, having to do with the sewage effluent. So I don't have those numbers till October, 17 or 18. So we probably won't get our allocation finalized until well into November because of that. Our allocation charges for this year. And then we'll meet as a group, and by the first board meeting in December, we should have an allocation. It'll be the first time we've made an allocation this early in a long time.
Right, for one.
Won't be much, maybe a 3-inch allocation.
Figure out how to do that.
Remember, we never had enough water even to allocate before, right? We just, like we said, it didn't make any sense because we couldn't even release it. But now we have enough water to actually make an allocation, so that does mean it's a lot.
Well, it is a little encouraging.
Yeah. A lot better than it was last year, but not enough.
I like that term a lot, better. It's really quantitative.
Well, it psychologically it is.
No, yeah.
Be able to make an allocation, whereas before you couldn't even make an allocation with where do you,
I can tell you psychological on me because I don't think I'm gonna drill a well, that's fixing to. Thank goodness. Okay, so all of yours, what about the railroad issue there, Al?
we can give you an update on that. On Jay's got it right ready. Everything's going well. We have some. I don't know if they made them on the agenda because it's going so quickly, but we have some licenses to discuss. I don't think they made it to the agenda. We'll discuss in the next board meeting. Reimbursement licenses. We may have to have a special meeting to get that one, but I don't think, let's allow us to, because I think Pete's ready to start working on this all. We'll talk about that then.
What are they doing with one over in Hartman, that Arroyo? They
Oh,
got a big old deal.
Okay, well, we can talk, I don't know about that. You got, well, let's finish this and then we'll
Okay.
talk about Upper Valley. So the main thing that we achieved, and this is all very fast track. So we just had a kickoff meeting a week ago yesterday. First construction was 2 nights ago.
It was yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning.
At 5 a.m. They cut the track here to Salibra. This is right behind the RCA plants there on Alameda. They cut the track at 5 a.m., removed it, and they cut a 75-foot section, placed it on top of the other track. That's the pipe. We actually got 3/4 inch steel pipe instead of 5/8. Yeah, I said it looked a little thicker. 3/4 inch. They excavated, as soon as they removed the track, they excavated, rolled, they finished laying the pipe, that's right prior to the pipe. By 8 a.m., that's the final compaction. They're on some of the bedding for the pipe, that's the alignment, and started moving the pipe in with this crane. It's a 60-foot section of 60-inch diameter.
That's a little bigger than the one we wanted.
It's like the one sitting on the desk.
About like the one we wanted, right?
Yeah, the crane was significant, but.
Just for example. I'm never gonna give up.
They finished, they started laying the pipe by 8 a.m. Yesterday, the pipe was in. Of course, took a picture that was for Al.
That crane is like Robert's flatbed truck, right? Yeah. We'll never see it.
Never see it.
And they started backfilling at 8 a.m. and this was what took the longest. It took 3 hours to backfill. They could only put backfill up in 6-inch lifts, and it took densities and compacted very well. So by 11, they finished up.
6-inch density whenever they compact.
6 inches at a
in order to be
time.
good.
Usually flowable fill there, a lot of those 12.
I bet the next one's gonna go faster.
Absolutely, yeah, stockpiling locations, machinery, the roller was too large, they had to obviously excavate more on the side of each pipe, so there were a lot of things that we discussed afterwards which should expedite, the next location, which is next week on Tuesday. Backfilled, started putting the ballast, the rock for the railroad, and then, this was at 12, we had the track from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. They finished up with the track at 12:45.
It's pretty amazing.
It was pretty impressive.
Of course, we'll see how good compaction is after the train starts.
No, I waited till
We'll see.
Amtrak came through. This is a pretty neat machine. It goes in there and it compacts, the
The gravel?
rock underneath
Ballast,
the
yeah.
underneath the valve, yeah,
Oh,
valve.
so now it's in there.
No, believe me, they know what they're doing, so
Well,
it's
I'm
competitive.
Yeah, this is what clears all the rock, and then the second machine comes in.
So they achieved in 6 hours what our federal government has taken 10 years to try to do in certain places, and what our city government has taken 10 months.
Yeah, that's the.
Not if you put
That's
stadium
called-
seats on it.
Oh, yeah, well,
That's called private
I'm
industry.
gonna put it in culverts.
This machine here, right here, it lifts the rail up, and then it's got 8 of these across in it, and it packs the rock
Vibratory.
underneath. It packs the rock underneath the ties. It was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Amtrak passed by it.
That was our curfew was,
At 1:45, it was about a 45-minute delay on Amtrak, but,
we slowed down after.
yeah. So, but no, they took a,
I hope there wasn't any Congress.
that was a federal, yeah.
Passengers had no clue.
But no, it went over.
Sidetracked
Yeah.
at Alpine.
All three of the passengers didn't even know that.
I'm sure it was full, or Amtrak's filling up these days.
And no, it went well, so that, yeah, and there's a lot of room for improvement as far as just stockpiling locations, machinery. And, this was one of the larger ones as far as lengthwise because of the skew underneath the railroad. So they're gonna start at the southernmost location, one down here by Morning Glory on the Plant Lateral. And that is a 48-inch, so that's scheduled for next Tuesday. So these will occur every Tuesday for the next 5 weeks, not counting yesterday's. And they'll have all the bars done from basically Salitral on the southern section, or downstream, which is essentially all the ones that receive effluent. And, obviously we'll be coming in, Pete and these guys will be coming in, doing the head wall so we can get some water for the water master.
We negotiated 3 temporary construction licenses under the approval you guys have given him for those temporary licenses. One for stockpiling on our canal banks, right?
Yes.
One for using our stockpiling in our yard over here, our storage yard that we're not using.
The old plant
Our
yard.
old plant yard.
Yes.
And then one for construction water, which are all temporary agreements.
For a total of how much, Dave?
It's gonna be about almost 25,000 for the use of the facilities
For
and
5 months.
water.
Paid in advance.
So that's with Ames, not with the railroad.
That's the contractor director.
You can imagine what it costs whenever those strangers sit down for 1 minute.
Yeah, how many hour curfew? 7 hour curfew?
We actually, they said 6, and then they got 7.5 yesterday.
I'll probably get it down to 6.
5 to 12:30.
This saves us a lot of money. Saves us about, in labor, probably about $100,000, something like that, maybe.
And the better, I guess, result is, look at the top of the rail and the top of the pipe, there's only about a 2.5 foot. So instead of, if it would have been a bore, it would have had to have been about 5 feet below the top of the rail, which would have created a siphon, as they are today. So these are pretty much gonna flow a free flow without having to be inverted siphons.
Well, that probably, they're still gonna be pressurized slightly.
Slightly. Slightly at some locations, that's something might just be.
Yeah, it depends how much flows in it.
But
How much backwater,
Depends on how much trash is in
can't do much about that, so. We did have a proposal one time for an automatic trash rate. Do you want me to pull that one back up? I know Robert would like it.
I guess,
Put it underneath the flatbed truck
Yeah,
list.
on the list.
Crane,
Jim Ivey,
along with the crane.
Colin,
Crane, well, Crane's probably the bottom.
You need to do an open session session.
let's see what is this on the closed session also, this agenda?
No,
No.
this is information only.
So see, I think I better make sure that Jay knows about this as well as Julie. I got a call Monday from Jim Ivey, who said, since I was representing Harvey Hilly with regard to the railroad construction, that he wanted to inform me of some complaints he had. And I said, look, I don't represent Harvey Hilly, I have no idea where you got that information. If you're concerned about the bridge, you might call Chewy Reyes or J. Ornelas and explain to them what your concerns are. And they had to do with his thinking that he might be, or that his assets or properties might be landlocked as a result of the new construction. So,
Well, we've made real careful on ours not to do that to anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Anybody that's using our facilities and farming continues to be able to, we've actually made, at our expense, some accommodations. But as far as the railroad, they have to deal with the railroad, I can't.
Right. They wanted, they were concerned about, remember some years ago, about 10 years ago, Johnny, that the railroad put up those signs saying this crossing will be.
Oh, yeah, they were tearing out all,
closed.
they were tearing out all those crossings.
Right.
Yeah, but
And
That's what Harvey Hilly's deal was back, this was back over here in another area, they were gonna tearing out all those crossings, and, well, they did, some of them up there, like Bob Wilson's farm and all that, they really messed it up.
But we addressed with a congressman from Tornillo to, I think it was Loop 375, and they held off. And as a matter of fact, they even removed some of the signs. Here lately, they've popped up again.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, we don't know, and the people that we've been working with don't know anything about that. That's another section of the railroad. So,
That ten didn't know right.
Yeah.
And I referred both parties to the railroad's acquisitions or real estate to Stephanie Tingley. You know, obviously the contractors, it's the contractor's responsibility and railroads to provide access to these facilities. So, you know, that's between the railroad and the private parties, or the contractor and private party.
How far is that double track going down?
all the way to Loop 375, right?
Right now,
Going the other direction.
right here, right before Morning Glory subdivision is where they're gonna tie it back in,
Right.
right at the end of Morning Glory.
For this phase, there's another
For this.
phase.
They were gonna-
They don't have it scheduled yet, I don't think.
The other phase goes all the way to Valentine from here.
It's gonna continue next. The next phase, there were too many problems with that Webb Road with the Salidral and the Mesa Drain. So initially they had consulted and they had said it was gonna reach up to Webb Road, right before Webb Road. But the Mesa Drain and some other facilities,
So it's just gonna be right here. this
right at
first
Morning
phase.
Glory, that's the last one.
Because the track splits it, Cerro Blanca,
Yeah.
different railroad.
So I guess they'll take it as far as there, where, we don't know, it's, we removed, what, 2 or 3 of the crossings because they aren't gonna be constructed.
There were 14 down to Webb Road, and then they removed those last 3, and they just shortened it up to the Morning Glory.
The railroad industry almost died in the United States, and now it's really been,
If they could get those trains converted to natural gas, it would be,
well, I understand they're working on it.
seems ideal for it.
Supposedly they're working on it.
First 3 cars will be natural gas tanks, so.
Yeah. As long as they don't flip over in my backyard.
That is true. Could be a little more exciting than diesel.
There's already,
Railmen have
they're already doing that, aren't they? I mean,
They're doing it on the big trucks.
Or something.
You know, in Lawrenceburg, they put in that liquefied natural gas refueling station.
There's a big deal to, some big consortium that's put together that, because there's already the technology already exists to do it. They just need to build some plans to, and what they're gonna do is just change all those engines
Yeah.
to any of those from diesel to natural gas,
Huge savings.
Well, right now it is. Fuel prices change.
They're waiting to see what happens. Oh, it's just informational, exploratories are going in between, up on the mesa, between here and Del City, they started looking for
Okay,
gas.
so that's all of your report, all right?
Oh, I should be looking at it.
Number 9.
There's one more.
That-
8. No, that's not ours, that's not mine.
Yeah, this has to do with Jim, and that's closed session. And that has to do with the Border Patrol's crossing. Which is kind of cratered in the works. Okay, number 9, maintenance manager, Pete, you're on.
Well, we're
gearing up to get started on the first crossing of the Salitral, and it was impressive to see the guys, the way they operate. You know, it's I think they started with the easiest one, to tell you the truth. I think the next one is probably going to be the most challenging of all. Yeah, because they're just so confined to the area that they're in. But we'll find out next Tuesday. These are just a couple of projects that we accomplished here in the past month. This is here in our backyard where we got the retaining pond. We kept getting erosion here in this area here, so what we've done is we've gone in there and we've concrete lined around it to make sure that erosion doesn't occur. We've also gone in there and put some railing all the way around to make sure nobody goes in there. Web lateral, these are, we continue with trying to raise these banks up above that concrete there, and you can see here, you know, how much we've raised it. That's the 4 pictures here on the web of Broad Alameda, and kind of what it looks like after we were done. Island Main, same thing, kind of getting that sand and dirt off the farmer's field here, putting it back on top of our ditch bank, and kind of let it back out. Then the drains continue to get overground, even without water, so. This one has quite a bit of water in it, though. This is over below Wingo Reserve Road. And it was holding water back, and some of the pecan people back there started calling me and complaining about their pecans.
Is there any bigger activity?
Not in this area, no, sir. There was some further upstream. And
Is this like after you freed the flow up, this is a drain out of it, is why there's so much flow, right?
yes, yes. You see what there, you know, we still got to work downstream. That's just had a problem with the bucket, so.
I see everything along the fence is very well maintained, right?
Yeah, the border patrol's in there,
Right.
real
Good
good.
job, that was part of that.
That's for camouflage,
Yeah, for whom?
for the fence.
For the guys coming back.
That's what's holding it up.
Yeah, it's a barrier, a vegetative barrier.
Mesa Drain, this is over by Moon Road, and you can see the 4 pictures here. There are more guys going in. All this area here is, there's homes all alongside here, so there was a lot of complaints on mosquitoes, and people are panicking with the West Nile and so on and so forth, which I don't blame them. And that's kind of what it looks like after we were done with it.
So, yeah.
This is the same drain, just further downstream. This is over by Burrs Farms, below Route 375. And we went in there and dug it out.
What happened there, beetle that was killing all of the South Cedar?
Did you know, it's up the valley, it's working real well around Sunland Country Club area, and then it's moving north.
Well, it started to work here, but it's kind of like disappeared.
I don't know what happened, there's some,
And Dr. Iglesias said something about it leaving the area, and there was very minimal activity.
Yeah,
we're getting regrowth down to Candelaria.
What about it in Hudson County? They were talking about how it really worked in this area.
There's some regrowth starting, but it worked pretty well down there. But it's it doesn't kill them, it just defoliates them. They may die, but they come back from the roots. We're getting regrowth.
Down Indian Hot Springs, they wiped it out.
Yeah, you go a little bit farther to Candelaria, I can show you on the satellite photos, we did that up at the EA meeting because there was some discussion of our new endangered species. Yeah, we got a new, this one, it's got a stranger name. But they said that in this particular bird lives in some of the salt cedars, and they lost habitat down there, but they're regaining habitat. It's
Are they
coming
gonna
back.
find the beetle?
Yeah, beetle,
It's fine.
I
He fine.
don't know, but I wouldn't transport that beetle if I was you.
Well, that area down there.
Let the beetle
you come
fly
down
on its own.
Candelaria, down the river, way down there, yeah, that had nothing, it wasn't even in the channel for the river.
Oh, no, but right there, you know, that big spot, the huge spot that goes into Mexico, it's starting to breed the salt cedar coming back.
According to IPWC yesterday, they reported that they did another release up north towards Albuquerque, and that they're not having quite the success that they had down here because of the climate change. Yeah. So they're saying that that beetle is starting to work its way down this way.
You know, I just wondered if it's because we still use some insecticide right here for cotton and stuff. That's it. So they have an effect, and cotton tree. So I don't know. I mean, if they're susceptible to what we use.
And I understand the bees kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't, that's not the kind of, that's not the
The
honey.
bees are looking for something to eat, aren't they?
Okay, this is the, this is over by St. Peter and Paul's Church. In case you're not familiar with the area. Mesa spur drain further downstream. This drain has been completed already. From Clint all the way to Route 275. There's another picture of the Mesa spur. And this here is San Estadio, Maine. This is where the border patrol agent ran into our Sanelli.
Wow.
Jim, you need a picture of that to show Christie. Right?
We have one with the vehicle.
Impact.
They notified us of the accident, and then they said, well, you know, we'll be glad to address the damages. So I told people, let's go ahead and repair it, and give me an accounting of what we used as materials and manpower and so on, equipment. So we have, and then they came back and brought me the forms that you submit to them, and never hear back from. So I've done that. So hopefully, the chief said that he'd do a follow-up on, to make sure we would get reimbursed.
They ran into one of my irrigator's truck one time, tore it all up, and he filled out all those forms, never got a dime out of it.
Yeah.
Well, luckily the damage wasn't too bad, but you can see there was some damage. There's some repairs. These are some head walls that we're building there in the Fabian's yard. We built 4 head walls. 2 of them have been accounted for already. Mr. Bobby Scove paid to upgrade 2 of his turnouts on the I-57. So 2 of these head walls will be going into the I-57. And then we built an additional 2 in the event that we need them. We've got them. Because we didn't have any 30-inch at all.
So you cast them and then you just lift them into the trailer and
Yes.
haul off?
Yeah, that's what they look like after we're done.
Pipe and all attached, or you attach pipe and tube?
No, basically that's 20 feet of pipe right there. So that's basically what goes into our ditch bank. Now, there's additional pipe that needs.
It's built into there's not a ring where you have to attach it on the outside of the,
No,
It's
No,
embedded
it's a
with
one
the
piece.
water stop.
It's a one piece.
Wow. That's pretty good if you can put that in without bending it.
And there's our crane.
Looking at the river.
Hey, you have to rent that?
There's our crane.
That's like a little pickup crane.
Is that a rental?
No, that's actually our boom truck.
Oh, that's another, I guess. Yeah, that is our crane.
You want a crane or you want mowers? What do you want?
That's putting me in the spot here.
You're not getting either one, but I just had which one you wanted.
So that's a 10-ton, right? Is that very extended, is what, it's 20,000 pounds is what we can, or yeah, I don't think you want that much, so these things are.
No, that's rated for 17,000 pounds.
17,000? Yeah. Are we still trying to use a lightweight concrete in those?
Yes, sir. That's the only reason we're raising these, or lifting these head walls. But as you can see, we're fairly close to the head wall. Once we have to extend, it gets pretty difficult.
Yeah, we couldn't get it as light as we wanted. I think the best we could do in this area was, what is that, 114 pounds a cubic foot, something like that?
Right, something like that, yes.
About a 20% reduction.
So,
We're trying to get it down to 100.
this is part of that railroad project. We're going in there and kind of removing all our structures that are going to be within the construction to save our head walls and reuse them. These will have to be relocated further upstream.
That's their morning glory, right?
No, actually, this one is right by the crossing of Mr. Harvey Hill,
Your fence is farm?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, just upstream from that. Right at the end of Coffee Road. There's a turnout here, and there's a turnout here that have to be relocated. There's the other one. This is the middle drain at Salitran. Again, this is where the crossing for the railroad is gonna occur. We had to extend the pipe under the the middle drain to be able to build over the top of it. When we were doing that, we came to this head wall here. It's an old concrete pipe. It's only about a 36-inch pipe. So we decided to go ahead and upgrade it now that we're there, before we do all the construction over the top of it. And right now, we're in the process of removing all this concrete.
All redwood?
Yeah.
That had to be done in the thirties, right?
Yeah, it was the 20s or the 30s, yeah.
It's
Probably
all,
the
it's all
20s.
concrete. It's all concrete. It's just too small.
Yeah.
And here we're building the new one to set in. I'm hoping to put this pipe in either later today or Monday latest.
2 different types of pipe?
This one here, Al, is the coated one,
Oh, okay.
but we only had 80 feet of that coated one. So what I did is I attached the one that's not coated at the ends. That way, if we ever need to replace it, this is the part that's gonna run out, to where we don't have to tear everything out.
And railroad's paying for 60 feet of that.
Right.
The part that we needed to do for their, caused by their, the rest is, we're using our budget for it.
Correct. And we're still dealing with washouts from, these washouts actually occurred, what was it, in August of 2013? When we hit
Yes.
October 2000. Yeah, we're still coming across those washouts and still doing some repairs on them. They're over by the entrance for one of the crossings is gonna go with water patrol, I believe. And then this is, again, the Mesa Spur drain, where, water from the Sparks addition comes down that arroyo and goes straight into our drain. I've had to repair this drain about 4 times already this year. There's horizon there.
That's in Socorro City limits.
Yes.
Yeah, the arroyo comes right up here.
You know, and looking at that drawing, I didn't realize Socorro City limits took in everything there on the freeway.
It come all the way to the,
Yeah.
all the way to the bridge, I think it is?
Yeah. It's just kind of like a little sliver, and then they took all that in just for the taxes.
Right past Clinton.
Gosh, all of that area there. Wow.
And we're also removing some trees that environmental has been after me. Our branch B, Quantity Main branch B is right here, Saragossa, that's right over here. And we've got a lot of drug usage under these trees. So we're going in there.
Those trees are so green,
Yeah. Yeah, so we're doing that, so those removals there. That's all I got, gentlemen. Unless you guys got some questions?
Thank you, Pete. Anybody have any questions, Pete?
Thank you.
All right, Roberto?
Mine's very simple, no water.
No water.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about an allocation.
Nope. The season's pretty well coming to an end. Coming October the 30th, pretty well the winter flow will come to an end. Right now, we're just really concentrating on Unit 9. We still got 300 acres to get on Unit 8. And we should get those 300 acres out by this weekend. Because down the Clint, people at the beginning were, in September, were a little still concerned about getting water down there, but unfortunately, the railroad was delayed by a month, so we were able to cover everybody in the Central that wanted water in the Clint, so that worked out real good. We covered everybody in the Franklin, and that worked out pretty good, but I'm thinking after we get through with a couple of 300 acres on Unit 8, we're gonna have to cut the water off to the Franklin feeder, put everything down the riverside for the simple reason, if something happens to the feeder, The Senators closed, the Clint's closed, Franklin below down here is closed because the border patrol, is it the border patrol there or the state working on the bridge down there?
Stay.
The state,
So, all my canals are, companies wanted to work on them, and then the border patrol wants to get on the riverside to do some work over there too, so. Come November the 1st, return flow pretty well comes to an end. And I think as far as right now, we're watering all pecans, and still Unit 9's got 4,500 acres, and I think that as of yesterday, I quit taking orders for Unit 9 because the 4,500 acres is gonna take us the rest of the 3 weeks to get all those acres out of the way. And I don't shut them down. If people call, still want water, we take them as a late order. If we come in that area where the people want water, we'll pick them up. So we're not gonna say, no, we're not taking your order. We just let them know you're a late order, understand that. If we come in that area where the water's gonna be, please be ready. And that pretty well takes care of that. The next thing is, Cassie pretty well will start mailing out the charges for the year of 2014 today, so the farmers can review them. And then they're supposed to get back to us by October the 16th, of any complaint on the charges, but we've been pretty good about the charges, because me and Cassie have reviewed every charge as they've gone through the season. We've had very few complaints. We had Will run an audit on the charges for the year to see if anything was above 100%. We reviewed them again, me and Cassie, so that should pretty well taken care of. So the charges are going out today. By the 16th, the farmers have that, and we'll hand it over to Rose, and then that's when the tax season starts for her. But the season is pretty well ending pretty good for this year. So it's almost over.
Another amazing year, you guys.
Well, it's been work for Pete trying to, because no water really kills those canals. The growth in them is unbelievable. And even this year, I was very worried, but it went real good, considering the way the grass was in there. Water came in
We
there.
got a lot of rains late too, we had to shut it
But
down.
it worked out pretty good. And we're just getting ready for 2015.
And you're gonna have 25% more water.
Yeah.
What the LDI goes in.
Maybe 48 inches.
Yeah, 4 foot Roberts back.
There you go. I'm back.
That could have been,
Did you mean 4.8 inches?
Yeah, that's about right.
All right, thanks, Robert. All right. We got the applications. Dave?
There's legal issues and value issues on,
item
let
E,
me get the right page, it's the
page.
Okay, A, C, and D.
Oh,
B is the only one that there's no issues that I need to discuss.
Which tab are you talking about now?
12,
Twelve.
Well,
Yeah, under 12. So, AC and D are closed session.
Yeah, and then we can bring them back out after the closed session, but I need to talk to you about.
Yeah,
But B is that's a negotiated license for the same terms and conditions you guys had approved prior with Time Warner. I'll let Jay handle it.
Time Warner, submitted an application for one aerial, a single aerial cable crossing the Franklin Canal for that Paisano Alameda project where the traffic circles are. And, they submitted a documentation, and the amount is for $15,287 for a 25-year license. And engineering recommends this for consideration of approval.
they're not piggybacking off the electric company or
They are.
anything? Okay. So they-
Each entity is responsible for their own easements.
Their own easement,
El Paso Electric has already applied and has been granted last month. And they're putting in new poles, these new large steel poles, so, and crossing at a different location, so they're applying for this, yes.
Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve application 1686.
So,
AC and D will talk about in closed session. Sure. All right. Item 13, and on number A, or letter A is closed session.
Mr. did you approve 1686? I just got a motion, I didn't get a second.
I didn't second it.
I motion he second.
Oh, I
did it.
I just said- I just saw it.
Yeah, okay.
I-
Sorry, guys.
We tested them out.
Yeah.
So Sharon's a fan.
Yeah, so we got, did I ask for a vote? I'm sorry. No, right. All in favor, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was looking at the closed sessions.
13 should be all closed session.
Yeah. All right, then it looks to me like we need to do a closed session. Let the record show we're back into open session at 11:59 a.m. Having taken no action in closed session, we have some action items. I think all of them are under 12, item 12 on your agenda.
Probably, if you
12A. Al, did you want an action on 12A or you just want a recommendation?
He walked out the front door.
Table,
That's good, go lock
Let me go get him.
table it.
number 8.
Well, babe.
Yes,
Anyway, we wanted to, he wanted a recommendation of 25 cents
yes.
and that we construct.
And that he wanted time to work up that agreement.
Right, so he doesn't want a resolution on that, he just wants no action, but with a recommendation of 25%, 25 cents a square foot, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And that we construct it.
But you don't have to pass a resolution on
No.
it today.
Right,
No action taken.
no action. Should the, I don't guess the minutes need to reflect that, then, or we?
Well, they always reflect no action.
Right, but I mean, what we just discussed.
Yeah.
Or
We
our
don't
rec-
need-
our
We don't
recommendation.
record discussion more, that went away with that 500.
Item C is the temporary discharge permit for the city. Do I hear a motion to approve that?
No, it's no discharge.
Temporary construction of the
Temporary construction.
pipeline with no discharge.
Just
Right,
construction.
I said that wrong. Thank you for correcting me, because I said that wrong. The motion should be for the temporary construction license to construct a 24-inch reclaimed water, storm sewer water system, or storm water, whatever,
But no water.
on the Latoya Drainage. Let me rephrase it all. It's to approve application 1690, okay? Do I hear a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Indar makes a motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and Larry seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And that's it. On item 12D, show no action.
We need 12D.
12D.
D.
D. 12D, application 1683.
Yeah.
No
D,
action.
yeah, I said D.
That was already right here.
I might not have it, I thought it was. Application 1683, no action. Okay, and
You didn't approve 1686, did you?
we did that in open session.
Yes.
didn't we? Yeah,
Yeah,
I've already done that.
Yes,
I think we did.
yes.
Yes.
Because I didn't have it closed session. I think that's all.
And then 13C, just,
Let me, just table that one and then let me get the
See?
additional information.
See, we have had.
no, C is,
The temporary,
no,
application.
13C.
Oh.
13C is the offer
What's the last
for.
Oh, no action.
Oh, sorry. I'm the wrong one.
What about A and B?
No action on any of the 13.
Well, you, on C, did you want them to reject?
Reject the offer.
Well, we reject, I would no action.
Good.
We don't make a resolution to reject, no. Right?
Yeah, you don't.
Just no action, means we rejected the offer. All right? Anything else? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Larry seconds, all in favor, say aye.